Hi, Facebook. It's Mariah Gello from The Hollywood Reporter, and I'm here with Kathryn Hahn.
Hello.
Who you might know from so many different things. We've got Step Brothers. We've got Anchorman. We've got Revolutionary Road. We've got an amazing Amazon career. Now you've been in Transparent. Now you're going to be in a new show called I Love Dick. And I love the fact that I get to say I Love Dick now. So thank you so much for being with us.
So my pleasure. Hello.
And Facebook, if you have any questions for Kathryn Hahn about anything, just drop them in the comments below and we'll get to them. So yeah, let's talk about I Love Dick.
Yeah.
Can you explain that title a little bit?
Yes, we are still very excited to get people to say it as loudly as they can. It is I Love Dick is based on a book called I Love Dick by a woman named Chris Kraus. That is a series of letters that she writes to an actual it's based on actual letters that she actually wrote to a cultural critic named Dick, and she was married at the time to this gentleman named Silver. And in these letters, these increasingly obsessive, detailed letters, it's almost like you could take out the word dick and put the word diary in. She just kind of like, through her unbridled, like unflinching desire, she kind of finds her own voice through that. And Dick in the titular Dick, which is my favorite expression, I'm just going to say titular Dick, is played by Kevin Bacon, the one and only, and my husband Silver is played by Griffin Dunn, the one and only. So it's been, and Jill Soloway directed and produced the pilot and much of the show, and then the rest of the series that is Andrea Arnold, who has directed American Honey, one of my favorite films, and Fish Tank, and Kim Pierce. Like, it's an incredible all-female writer's room, which is kind of unheard of. So it's been crazy exciting.
That's amazing. And then the show takes place in Marfa, so we've had some scenes out there. So I saw the pilot, and it seems like every place that you thought was like the cool, undiscovered place has now become like, hipstered out, played out, like Austin, Nashville, now Marfa. Like, immediately they're like, Marfa's played out. It's like this thing,
No, but then when you go there, you're like, what? Because it's so isolated. Like, you can't it's 3 hours away from the closest
Right. It's like a
airport.
4-hour drive from anywhere. It's like Western Texas. Western
and
Texas.
It's like unforgiving landscape. I mean, it is like for the real deal. Like, you're in the middle of nowhere, but then yet there's like some Stumptown coffee. You know what I mean? You're like, what is happening? And the art is so incredibly moving and big and masculine, which is like just why we thought it would be such an interesting setting. Also, Jill had been dating the poet Eileen Miles at the time, who has a house there, and I think Jill was like, I think in that, and Eileen, who was kind of the a little bit of the inspiration of Cherry Jones's character on Transparent. I think just in that she saw this world that she hadn't seen before in Marfa and was like, oh, that's kind of perfect to have like this woman arrive literally in the shadow of, men. Like, just like their art is so big and concrete, and it's interesting.
That's cool. What I loved about the pilot is that it really does feel to me like television is becoming more like independent film. And you've got your co-stars are two symbols of the independent film movement. Griffin Dunn being of an older generation and being from the New American cinema of the 70s, and then Kevin Bacon being from the independent film world of the 80s. For sure. And I think girl.
I know. We for sure, though, there is like a for sure I think it's Amazon too. Like, I think that they just were, I think Jill and Amazon, when they first came together with Transparent, I think that there just was something in that alchemy that allowed them to take this kind of like, risk and be so hands off and just to trust an artist's voice. And then when you see that it's like pays off, that like art by committee is just like not as interesting anymore. Like, I just think it's just when you try to make so many people happy, you lose something. You just like stay true to your own. For sure, it feels like I'm in a Cassavetes world.
Yeah. What's the most challenging thing about working on this particular project?
Oh, just living in that brain was an interesting place to be for that long. Yeah,
right.
Because she's so single-mindedly, from the outside you look in, and you're like, God, boy, does she just debase herself over and over and over and over again. She like throws herself into rejection. But there is something about standing on your own, about just demanding to be seen and heard. That's also amazing.
Wonderful. So I wanted to talk a little bit about all the different roles that you've had. You've kind of bridged the gap between the comedy world and the dramatic world. And I think you said before that you really need to inhabit a character and have a backstory in order to really be able to
do anything funny.
Right.
Yeah, it's very hard for me to be funny out of thin air, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So we actually have a question from Facebook before I get into it, because I wanted to talk about your Super Bowl commercial. But let's take a question.
Yeah, Matt wants to know, Kathryn, can you speak about your early years in the business, your time at Yale, and how that prepared you for your career? What prompted you? What prompted the decision to pursue higher education?
Honestly, not. It was because I had been working in a hair salon as a receptionist in New York City, and I knew that going to a graduate school was not going to be necessarily the best career launch. It wasn't going to necessarily be a great obvious next step career wise, because I was going to be taking myself out during the ingenue years. But I knew well enough that I wasn't an ingenue, and that it was going to be, I just really, really wanted to have I just wanted to work. I just wanted to do plays, and so I just accrued as much student debt as I could, and then put myself through Yale. But it was the best, because I just got to act for 3 years.
Yeah. So when you went through kind of your early career, have you been kind of building into a place where you've had these prime leading roles? Sorry, I just got totally. You have such a lovely smile. I just got flustered. I know it's weird. Okay, it's live television. No, but when you go through these roles, do you think that Yale kind of helped you, kind of on the resume, or did it help you more?
More personally.
It's more personal. It's more
for sure. I mean, my gosh,
or...
for sure. Because otherwise, there was something in New York called the. It was the Village Voice, or the Backstage. We used to wait in line for the paper on Wednesdays, and you'd look at the auditions in the back of my then boyfriend, now hubby, and I would laugh because the auditions were all no pay nudity. It was all these weird student films, and we were like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I just wanted to act so badly, and that point, that was my way to be able to do is to get an MFA. It was not for everybody. I remember a lot of people told me not to do it because they were it's going to take you out of the game. Mm-hmm. You're going to be up in New Haven, and I was not young. I wasn't right out of undergrad. But I'm so glad I did it. Yeah. Not for everybody, but I really treasure it, and I treasure those friendships for sure.
Yeah, and it is a new world. We're able to really our careers can grow from. I mean,
yes.
I think as women we have more
longevity
my
in
creative, our careers.
I feel the hottest creative time in my life was post having children, which I never would have thought. You know what I mean? It's kind of rad. I thought it would the world, so much of society tells you it's over, and it's not. It's actually the most creatively fertile time for me, for sure.
Absolutely. We have another question from Facebook.
We do. Tim asked, what age did you decide you wanted to be an actress?
Oh, young. When I was 6 years old, I was Salty the Psalm book in a Catholic school. When I say salty, I mean Psalty. The Psalm book, Psal, in a little skit in my St. Anne's elementary school, and I just got the bug. It just bit me. You know what I mean? Then I was Nurse Ratched, and I was glorious at 12 years old.
Nurse Ratched, amazing. All right, so I wanted to just talk to you a little bit about the Super Bowl ad that you were in this year. That's hallowed ground for an actor. So it's a Febreze commercial.
Yes.
And it's the theme of the commercial is "I love you, but sometimes you stink."
Yes.
And getting back to your voiceover work, have you done much voiceover work? Or
No, I mean I did a couple shows, but I mean this was a big one for me because I knew that it was like I just knew that all the Super Bowls were like the most fun and the most clever and the most like creatively exciting, and then this one just made me laugh and you know, I myself, I am more of the halftime girl. I'm very excited about Lady Gaga.
Mm-hmm.
But we were just laughing a lot. There's, everyone always spends their time getting the beer and the 7-layer dip and the food and everything already, but no one really takes the time to gather the Charmin and the Febreze and stock the bathrooms to make sure that they're well supplied. Because as I have learned in all of my research in preparing for this, that apparently more toilets are flushed between the second and third quarters of a Super Bowl game than any other time of the year. So that's just something to think about, Facebook.
And is this the character? Is this the character that you?
I kind of am dropping it. That's kind of how good I am.
The Morgan Freeman of
as I kind of like drop into it. A lot of Ken Burn documentaries.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. March of the Penguins over and over.
I was wondering if you could give us a taste of the voice. I have some celebrity tweets for you to read.
Great.
Okay.
I'm very excited.
This is the Febreze voiceover for the Super Bowl.
At Mary Jane, hooked it up. Wowzy. Thanks, Uncle at Snoop Dogg, for being such a dope gangsha innovator. Bye, Mary Ray Cyrus. Miley. This is dear old friend Adam Scott. These new behind-the-scenes intros on Shark Tank are making me feel Westworld host-level disillusionment.
Oh, Adam.
Yes. All right. This is serious business, guys. Oh! At NBC News is bad, but Saturday Night Live is the worst of NBC. Not funny, cast is terrible, always a complete hit job. We all know who that is. But you know what? Honestly, I thought these make me laugh so hard, and I thought they did such an adorable job getting them together, these ads.
Wonderful.
For sure.
Kathryn, thank you so much for being here.
It is such a complete pleasure.
We look forward to your 500 projects that are coming up. We look forward to the Super Bowl.
I think we look really good together up here anyway.
We look forward to going out on the town in our beautiful dresses.
Our crepe lunch looks.
Yes.
Where are we going to lunch in?
Anywhere. Go see I Love Dick on Amazon. Go to the Super Bowl to see the Febreze commercials.
Watch the Super Bowl.
Watch the Super Bowl.
Stock your bathrooms now.
And for any updates on Kathryn's wonderful career, you can go to thehollywoodreporter.com to check it out. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much for having me.